The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
And the stock of the day is Block. This after it jumped more than 10% at the open after getting word that it will be included in the S&P 500. So that follows Chevron's acquisition of Hess Corp, so making some room for Block. S&P Dow Jones Indices says that it will be added to the index before market open on Wednesday. So an after-hours trade did very well in New York, and today doing very well here, up more than 10%, just approaching 1 o'clock here in Sydney. My guests today, David Lane from Ord Minnett and Grady Wulff from Bell Direct. Grady, I'll start with you on Block, XYZ. Do you like it?
We don't cover it, but I love it. It's a company that you really can't go wrong with. They've got EPS that's soaring, revenues rising, NPAT margins up to 12% in 2024. That's like, it just ticks all the boxes. And then they've got, I know Square because I've been using it since I was it was in my first ever bar job that I worked. And I was like, what's this little thing that you tap money? And over time, it's just elaborated and changed and adapted to moving market preferences and technology enhancements. So I really can't fault the company. And then the integration recently with Afterpay's Buy Now, Pay Later Cash App, the card there. So yeah, the company is just exceptional and phenomenal, and I'm like, there's no surprise it's joining the S&P 500. It's huge. So obviously a bit of volatility on the share price there, but you look at the subscription model, the POS systems, the hardware, software, they have the buy now, pay later. So they're really encompassing every part of the market. And so with the hardware, you've got to join it with the software. So there's your SaaS model, your subscription-based model. They've got it in JB Hi-Fi, so they sell through retailers. They get the clip of the ticket there. So honestly, I just can't fault the company. It's phenomenal. But I would probably... Yeah, I'd probably put a buy on it. There's serious upside potential. You've got NPAT margins at 12% and there's profit to gain on the company. So, yeah, the market loves it. I like it. Yeah.
It's a buy for Grady Wulff. What about you, David Lane? Because we do have this RBA review of the payment system here happening locally. Obviously, big international exposure, U.S. exposure in particular. And then what happens then when it gets that inclusion into the S&P 500? Presumably, same as happens here, if it's in the index, then fund managers start to buy.
Absolutely, yes. I think that's probably, in the short term, that's the most important component to Block and why the share prices jumped today and why it could well continue to rally very strongly over the next couple of weeks, because fund managers will look at their portfolio and try and mirror the S&P 500 and also all the passive funds, so all of the ETFs that have exposure to the S&P 500 will have to include that as part of their portfolio. So we've seen a significant rise in passive investment over the last decade, and that's definitely the case in the US. So I think that will continue to drive the share price higher in the short term. In terms of the overall business, I think as Grady said, it's a great business. It has a lot of global reach. In terms of Australia and the RBA payments component, I wouldn't get overly worried about that because I think it's only a relatively small component of the overall business now. So yes, they do have the Square in Australia, but they've also got that all around the world. And also they've got, remember, the Afterpay business, that's part of Block as well. So, I wouldn't get too concerned about that RBA payments discussion or determination last week. I think that Block is much bigger than that. The other thing that Block gives you some exposure to is crypto. And we saw last week in the US, the crypto week, through their Cash App, they've actually got a significant exposure to crypto transactions as well. So I think that there is a lot of momentum behind Block. And similar to Grady, we don't actually cover it officially, but I think given momentum is behind it, I'd be willing to be buying it at the moment and, follow through as it goes into the S&P 500 and gets that passive money continuing to get the share price higher.
Momo, it's a buy. Double buy for Block, the stock of the day. Thanks, David Lane from Board Minette, Grady Wulff from Bell Direct. Stay with us.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.